Good morning, everybody. It's The Rob from 106.1 KISS FM and 103gbfrocks.com. Alongside of my tag team partner, the All-American, Jerry Valeri. Good morning, Jer.
And just like Kane, I re-emerged from the 120-degree heat, and I'm here. I'm back.
Back to reform one of the favorite tag teams of all time, Post to Post.
Yes. Oh, baby, I'm telling you what. Glad to be back from vacay.
I'm so glad you're back. How was DC?
So it was good. There were three different phases of the vacation. There was DC, and then Rehoboth Beach in Delaware, and then Hershey Park to wrap it up. And boy, we did it in kind of the right order because we needed a break on the beach after DC. So much freaking walking, man. The Fitbit was on fire. It said 31 miles. 31 in 3 days.
Hold on, Jerry.
You're a 10-year-old and a 7-year-old.
Thanks, Steve. You're echoing, bud.
I'm echoing, but I shouldn't be. Oh. It's been a week.
All right. Hopefully, Steve, if you don't mind, thanks for the heads up. And if you could let us know if he's better now, we appreciate that, Jared. Thank you. It's so weird because it gives me the option on my side to mute you, to mute that feature, but it doesn't work, or it only works some of the time.
I have to mute 3 things, and I muted 2 of the 3. So we should be getting a thumbs up from Steve now because I did see the problem and it's been fixed. What I was saying about DC quickly is that you think in your head like, oh, the monuments are really close to one another, and we'll just go see Lincoln and then Jefferson and then Martin Luther King and then there's the Washington Monument. They're like miles away from one another. Like you hustle and bustle and you get to the Lincoln Memorial and you're like, holy hell, kids. Jefferson's over there. I'll Google it. We're not we walked it from Lincoln, and then we did Martin Luther King Jr. because that's a new one, and then across the water is Jefferson, and I literally said, there it is. That's as close as we're getting to that.
You made a bad decision.
So much. It had to be. By the 3rd day, we were so sick of learning and walking that we went into the Air and Space Museum and we did absolutely nothing with air or space. We bought 4 tickets to the 3D IMAX Jurassic World and sat on our ass.
Good for you guys.
Time. It was time. It was good. Good vacation.
Well, welcome back.
Thank you.
I don't know.
I missed all of the wrestling last week. All of it. I watched Raw last night.
The big news in wrestling last week was that I bought more than 20 WWE shirts on clearance.
I did see some of that. I watched some of that.
This is one of them, by the way.
When I was in the bathroom.
My $4 tea for the day.
Look at that. I was Nola your role. So what I got from this is you got a lot of WrestleMania specific, a lot of New Orleans WrestleMania specific shirts.
That was the first go round. And then I double dipped and got like 20 more. And those are not exclusive to WrestleMania. So the first batch I'm still working my way through. You will see a whole lot of weirdness. Maybe I should save them for Post to Post days.
I mean, I can't wait to see them. Didn't you say you have like a Farouk one? Like you got some weird ones.
I don't think I said Farouk, but I believe the most obscure I got was Bam Bam Bigelow, maybe.
Oh yeah, Bam Bam Bigelow. I get him and Farouk mixed up all the time.
But I mean, there's like I said, you're going to see some random stuff adorning me here.
Any buyer's remorse at all, or you're ready, you're locked and loaded?
No, I'm feeling good. It was all, like I said, it was like $130 for like 20 some tees. I even got that. Not even including the ones I got Brittany like 5.
It's amazing, man. And if you save it for Post to Post days, you've got like 10 weeks of shirts.
Yeah.
Ready to roll.
That's what I'm saying. Buyer's remorse. Says who?
Be serious.
Be serious.
Man,
we're getting closer and closer to you to you coming to Evansville.
I'm excited. I have just enough wrestling shirts to get me through that amount of time. I don't have 30. I have like 5. I'll be good. End of the month. Not even like 3rd week of the month.
Yeah,
we're coming.
man. We can't wait to have you. We're all excited. Let's talk about Raw last night. I know you missed Raw and you missed a okay Raw. I don't know if you're planning on catching up or not, or if you DVR'd it or whatever.
I DVR'd it. I just didn't have time to watch that and then last night, and I thought it was more important for me to be completely caught up.
Definitely made the right
what happened
choice.
last night. I do hear that the Seth Rollins Dolph Ziggler match from last week was a must see.
I mean, it was good. Yeah, I mean, I would try to describe it as must see. I don't know.
I'm not naming names, but I received a text while I was in Washington D.C. that I was missing a match of the year candidate.
Was that Tony?
I'm just saying. I heard that I missed a match of the year candidate, and I haven't watched it yet. Are you telling me that it's not true?
I mean, I don't want to make it sound like it was a bad match. It was far from a bad match. It would be match of the year if you only watched that Raw. I mean, but Jared, there's been 2 NXT shows, technically 3. I mean, there
didn't say winner. Didn't say winner. Said candidate.
Well, I mean, no, I did not. I keep a notebook now on my phone open for match of the year candidates, and I've got like 4 or 5 matches on there. One of them, nothing from last week.
But then I'm not going to watch it.
Watch it because you have.
Why though? Because I wanted to watch that, and then I wanted to see the Kevin Owens stuff. But then I saw Kevin Owens. They recapped it last night. Yeah,
I mean, you might even be good. I wouldn't say that's something you have to go out of your way to see, if you want me to be totally honest. What
did you think about that? Was last week's better than this week's? Because I thought this week's was right down the line mediocre.
I thought, here's the thing. I get why you would say it was mediocre. I thought it was actually good on a 2018 scale because here, what the hell just happened to you?
Son of a bitch. I've been gone a week.
I thought it was good because for the past few weeks, dating back to the Go Home show for Money in the Bank, Raw has been really focused. It's had storyline stuff happen. And here's the thing. The stuff that's been happening hasn't been home run after home run. But like, for example, last week, they planted a seed with the Authors of Pain and Titus Worldwide. Now, given it's not a great seed, and
so it wasn't a random match last night.
Correct. Yeah, last week the Authors of Pain kind of ran into Titus Worldwide backstage before Titus Worldwide had a match, and then during their match, the Authors of Pain interfered in it because they were upset with what the Titus Worldwide had said to them. That led to the match last night, where I feel like it normally would have just been a random match. They're kind of threading things together, even though the culmination was a pretty mediocre AOP versus Titus Worldwide match. Yeah. I'm happy that they're actually giving us a story.
Well, I'm okay with that in the regard that, you know, as much as Vince Russo takes a ton of heat, the one thing that he did really well is everybody on the card. We're talking everybody from Stone Cold to Spike Dudley. Everybody had a story. Everybody had an angle. Everybody, whenever they were on TV, it was very rarely was it pointless. And so I see them trying to do that now a lot more. And I like them working. Boy, as someone that does not like Dolph Ziggler on my television, I don't know if he's making me like Drew McIntyre more, or if Drew's making me like Dolph more. I don't know how it's working, but I like that pair. They're very formidable, and it's made for some pretty entertaining TV when they're on TV.
I agree, and they're just doing a lot of little things right now that I get nervous every time I say it because it's never consistent. Like, it's been consistent for 3 or 4 weeks, but you know, it could just topple at any point in time. I know how WWE seems to work.
Well, Lashley and Reigns will be what topples it, I think. You know, how many times last night did Corey Graves or Michael Cole say, this blood feud, this red hot feud? Are they trying to convince everyone or themselves of this? Because I don't know what happened last week with those two, but the response to that feud seems tepid. It doesn't seem like a red hot feud. It seems like a lukewarm mashing of two dudes that nobody cares to see that much.
This is a great example of them. Like, remember when it was driving me crazy when they were doing a women's gauntlet match, and they were saying that the gauntlet matches are far and away the most exciting matches in all of WWE.
Yeah, you're trying to convince me of this.
Yeah, correct. When it's a flat out lie. I mean, I guess maybe someone might like the gauntlet matches as the most exciting, but I don't think that anybody less than 1% probably feel that way.
I'm more into the Deleter of Worlds versus the B Team than I am Lashley versus Reigns.
Yeah, I think that last week you would have been, I'll just say, impressed with Lashley. Impressed not because he did great work, but because he did great work for a Lashley standard, and he didn't smile. He was actually kind of mean mugging, and it was kind of what we'd been wanting out of him. But even still, even on his best days, which he has been for the past 2 weeks, it's still below where he needs to be.
And so what happened with and I did watch some of the podcast last week while I was pooping. And
thank you.
So what happened with the multi-person match at Extreme Rules? What happened with the number one contender thing? Like, are we just ignoring the fact that Brock Lesnar's champion now? What's happening for real?
No, but you're supposed to ignore that match was ever announced in the first place.
What a mistake.
Yeah, so they had one plan, which, by the way, I'm not complaining because that plan was god awful.
It was very formulaic, and we complained about that plan, so I'm okay with it going.
Yeah, it was driving me crazy, and calling it a multi-person match just sounds so dull. I mean, it was just so vapid for me. It was just empty of any substance, and so they kind of about face on that, which they gave the weirdest explanation. There was a contractual snag with Brock Lesnar that means that they can't have a match to determine a number one contender on Extreme Rules. It's just wrestling. It's wrestling.
It's
wrestling.
I'm sure you've seen the site Kayfabe News. It's kind of like The Onion for wrestling.
Yeah, I only follow them on Facebook. If there's a site associated with it, I don't know much about that.
There was one yesterday that really made me laugh. It was like Brock Lesnar announced as a playable character for 2K19, but you'll only be able to play him four times a year.
That's funny. So yeah, that's what. It's funny. A few weeks ago on the radio, Liberty and I were doing a list of like Disney films that have humongous plot holes that people don't talk about.
Oh yeah, all of them pretty much. And
we just summed it up by saying, you know what? It's the magic of Disney. It's just Disney magic.
You have to suspend disbelief.
And then for wrestling, it's just like, it's wrestling. Things don't always make sense. It's just wrestling.
Because wrestling. And then there are some things when it's because it's wrestling, and because I've watched so long, I feel like I see it before most people see it. I know you saw it at the same time I did. The minute it was on the television screen, I mean, Kevin Owens is parking the car. Everybody saw the Port-O-Potty, right? Like, everybody knew the minute he pulls in the car, the Port-O-Potty is getting used this evening. Like, I there was never a doubt in my mind that we were getting to a Port-O-Potty because wrestling.
Well, I'll just say this. I didn't notice the Port-O-Potty until Kevin Owens ran past it. So, but once I saw that, I knew exactly where we were going. By the way,
at the end, I saw it in the first segment when he's pulling the car in. I was like, oh, there's a Port-O-Potty. Bet that gets used.
By the way,
I thought the Port-O-Potty was going to go through the windshield.
How convenient was it that Port-O-Potty also had reins attached to it so that it could be drug about the building? I mean,
and it wasn't on a wood pallet; it was on skis. Like it was on it had metal slats. It's still impressive to yank that thing through the building.
Well, there's that. I'm pretty sure the one he was dragging was empty, not just empty of Kevin Owens, but also empty of a potty. Because
it was, yeah.
If you look when he tips the thing over, unless it's just like a weird bottom to the thing, you can tell that it was empty when he actually knocks it over.
Yeah, you can. There's a lot of things. When he brings it up the ramp, if Owens is in it, it doesn't wobble.
Well, yeah, I mean, there's that, and there's a lot of reasons why you could just tell he wasn't even in there. Another
banging
thing
into the walls and couldn't keep it straight at all. And also, I'm not 100% sure how porta potties work, but
I bet you're going to say what I'm about to say.
You couldn't just pull it away from the spot that it's in and not have a mess, right?
No, I think you could. That part wasn't a problem for me. It's not just like you go in the pie and then that just falls on the floor or the ground.
No, I know that, but I just thought it was hooked to something. Sometimes I think they're hooked to something.
Okay, so some are, I think, but no, I think normally they're not because they're portable. But there are like you can put your trailer up to a valve or whatever that will empty them.
Sure.
That wasn't my problem. What I thought was funny though, part of the suspending disbelief. So yes, they did have the foresight to make sure that there was the blue fluid, because if there wasn't, you
gotta have the blue.
But did it need to be like dark blue Avatar paint? I mean, it was too.
Like he'd robbed it looked like he robbed a bank, and then the bank money exploded.
Yeah, that was too blue, right? That was way too. It was too much.
Right. It was too much, and I've been in porta potties at Penn State games, and then I've walked out of them and vomited. They're bad, right? I vomited in them. I mean, like, there's more than blue. Blue's not the only color to come out of there.
There's red, white, and blue coming out of those things.
And when you take yellow and blue, you get green. So it's usually not. I'm just saying it's not usually that blue. You're right. You're absolutely right.
Well, it was too thick. It was just like blue paint. It was just not the right amount of anything for that too.
I didn't mind that whole segment. I like Kevin Owens.
Right.
I like vicious Kevin Owens the most. That's my favorite. Kevin Owens is vicious. Although he does chicken crap Kevin pretty well too.
It does show his versatility, and I want to just circle back and say I'm splitting hairs with the porta potty scene. I also enjoyed it.
Yes.
At least a porta potty was something reasonable that Braun could have lifted.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
oh no, I mean he flipped the car last week.
Well, and the whole production truck a few months ago.
It was a tractor trailer cab. It wasn't a whole production truck.
So, well, whatever. You know.
Yeah, you know.
So, so I do want to say I got a positive vibe from that segment. It was, and I'm sure it's going to make the highlight reel forever. And you're right. It's just like there is so much Kevin Owens can do as a personality, as a character, as a wrestler. I mean, he's so versatile. And last night was another great reason why. It's like, it wasn't exactly comedy. Chicken crap is a good way to describe the type of heel he was. It was a little bit goofy, but, just the right amount. I was really pleased with it, to be honest with you.
Yeah, and Braun Strowman showing his versatility, because remember, he was brought in as just a big, bad monster. And it's almost hard to call him monster now because he's really funny. And he's the most over babyface in the company.
Yeah, I agree. And again, completely versatile. And I mean, he's just, if he can stay healthy, stay out of trouble, he's aces, man. He's aces.
They didn't see this coming. I'm sure they saw popularity and they saw an ability to push him and main event with him. But I can't believe that they thought they've got a big baby face on their hands with him.
Well, you know what's funny, Jer? You're right. And one of the notes I took last night is watching Braun Strowman. Whether you want to talk about him pulling the porta potty on Reigns last night, or you want to talk about him tipping something week after week after week, this is becoming Stone Cold Steve Austin driving something to the ring.
Yeah.
I mean, it's the same equivalent. The crowd goes crazy for it. It's like something you come to expect. You never know what it's going to be, but it's always going to be weird, memorable, and cool.
I mean, you think about it. Think about all the stuff that he's destroyed. Remember when he was feuding with Kane and Lesnar, and he ripped the entire backstage apart, all the scaffolding, he pulled all that down.
Yeah, thankfully there's a grappling hook there.
flip the trucks. Like, I want to see him throw an ice cream truck at somebody, but he has,
That's what I'm saying. It's like, it's always what's Braun going to destroy next? It's becoming the vehicles of Steve Austin.
The cello.
That cello, exactly. Yeah, I mean, there's just so many great examples of this, and that's what it's turning into for me. Someone else made me laugh out loud last night, and that was God. And you mentioned this earlier. The B team, their celebratory floss, at least Curtis Axel flossing.
Yeah,
they're working for me. They haven't done a thing that's disappointed me yet.
I thought to myself last night, if only it were Raw coming to Evansville and not SmackDown, I would make B shirts for us, because I would wear a B shirt.
We can
to celebrate those, but they won't be there. So we'll be serious.
But we're on the B show.
We are on the B show. And Bo Dallas impersonating his brother is just the best.
Oh yeah, it's so funny, especially now that poor Bray, he's got hurt.
Is that for real? He was in a car accident. Is he really hurt?
Yeah, that's my understanding.
He's had a bad string of luck, with the staph infection and accidentally impaling JoJo, and then that whole thing, and then getting hurt in a car accident.
Poor JoJo getting impaled by Bray.
Yeah, I know. I mean,
I feel like the mistake maybe not have been impaling JoJo, but maybe the choice in previous wives, perhaps.
Yeah, maybe. Because I've seen the side by sides.
I haven't. I don't know. I'm not even talking about her looks. I'm just talking about she seems to be wanting to make his life a living hell.
Oh, yeah. Well, no, I'm looking at, if you just go by looks, it's the difference between Liv Tyler and
Liv
Tyler? Morgan. No, Liv Morgan and
no, I meant Liv Tyler and Steven Tyler.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Who are you going to say, Liv Morgan and who?
What's her face? Sarah Logan.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I can see what you're saying.
Do you know who Sarah Logan reminds me of?
Who?
Skinner. She just needs to start chewing. I wish she'd start putting a chew in and spitting.
I'll tell you this. This might be a hot take. I bet you, under normal circumstances, she's hot. I bet you if you just see her out in the street, I bet you she's good looking. Okay.
Oh.
What?
You're not kidding around.
Oh, am I right? I haven't done this. What did you Google search?
Her name. Her name.
What did you just wrote Sarah Logan?
Yeah.
It used to be Crazy Mary Dobson in independent wrestling.
Yeah, I mean, I'm seeing some of those too, but there's just some cute photos of her. And
hold on, I want to see, because I don't think she's ugly. You've made fun of her a few times for being ugly. Oh yeah,
no, she's not. But she's always standing next to Liv Morgan.
Yeah, I don't find. Yeah, I mean, I'm finding like bikini pictures, and I mean, you can make her up to be ugly, which they sometimes they at least ugly her up.
Listen,
I don't think
she's not ugly. I mean, listen, if you want it ugly, you don't have to look further than Ruby Riott. Ruby Riott is not good looking at all.
Hold on a second. Let me do one more thing.
Don't type in Ruby Riott. You're just going to get weird.
No, I'm not doing that. But I mean, if you want to type in Crazy Mary Dobson, and you're going to see several bikini photos that are just straight up hot.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm in on that. But I'm just saying, I wish she would. I wish she would start chewing. I think that would be great.
Yeah, I'm standing by my statement. I don't think Sarah Logan is bad looking at all.
I don't think she is either. I didn't say she's ugly. I just said she's,
Well, you used her as the point of reference for an ugly wrestler.
She reminds me of Skinner, because she's all rednecky.
No, but you said comparing Bray's ex-wife to JoJo was like comparing Sarah Logan to Liv Morgan.
Well, because Liv Morgan is way hotter.
Did you Google image Crazy Mary Dobson?
I'm looking at it right now. Yeah, with the Jason mask over her hoo.
Sure, or go down a little bit further and just look at her in a bikini. There's several that are just like, damn. I encourage
a chain.
I encourage any of our viewers to do this, because I stand by my statement. Maybe that could be a question for today. Sarah Logan, hot or not?
I think she's hot. I think Sarah Logan or Liv Morgan. Which one? I'm not throwing either one of them out of bed.
Yeah, me
but
neither.
I'm Ruby Riott. I am.
Hold on, my headphones came unplugged. Who's getting tossed out of your bed?
Really riot.
Oh yeah, well, I mean, let's be honest. We've both probably had worse in our bed at our low points. But
not on my bed.
Okay, well, you know what I mean. You know, pedigrees all around.
Put in my car, maybe.
Same.
Who knows?
Same. I'm not gonna say I'm above that. I'm going to be honest with everybody. Let's keep going here, Dr. Shelby.
If we keep going, I'd like to stay on the Riot Squad for just 1 minute,
sure,
and say I kind of like what they're trying to do with them, but they're so NWO light. Like they're the Riot Squad, so they're going to trash the backstage, but they don't do anything of consequence. They like knock over a piece of aluminum.
You're so right. That's my biggest complaint.
Knock over a garbage can. I'm like, my kids do more GD damage in the house on a regular basis, just going from room to room, than the Riot Squad does.
Yeah, I said that 2 weeks ago with you and last week with Travis. My only problem is I like that they're doing stuff, but they're not doing enough. Like they're doing it in the back. Only that first week did they do it out in the ring, and that's where it needs to be done.
Well, I mean, like all of a sudden, how weird is it? Elias is playing him a song, and they're like into the song, and she's like, "Oh yeah, boom!" She like Hulk smashes into a garbage can filled with brooms, and I was like, "You just made a mess. Like you're not just being a jerk."
Last week, that's what they did too. They took a photographer's camera and just smashed it right in front of him. And it was so funny because they did not coach the photographer on how to react when this happens. And it was just so wrestling. This cameraman's reaction he didn't know what to do. It was so funny. So, like I said, Dr. Shelby made his return last night. It was a little hammy for me, but I'm glad he's back.
A little?
Yeah, I mean, you know what I mean? I mean, it's wrestling, so, you know, you can get away with hammy, but it was a little too hammy, if you know what I mean.
It was so hammy.
You seem like you're not a fan of Dr. Shelby?
No, I'm not a fan of that whole thing, but I like Dr. Shelby. But I don't know, like there are too many segments on that thing.
It's so weird because, okay, so you must have missed this last week, but it makes no sense. So last week, Bayley and Sasha get in another fight. They're teaming together, and Kurt puts them together, and they wind up fighting. It happens wrestling week after week. Kurt Angle says, "This is unacceptable. You guys have to go to counseling."
Instead of giving him a match.
But like, why this happens all the time? Why is this totally unacceptable? They have to go to counseling or quote, they're fired. Oh my God. It's just it's so weird.
You've got people throwing porta-potties off of stages with other human beings inside, but they're the two that need counseling.
I'll tell you what, I'm not regretting having Sarah Logan as the background on my computer right now.
Oh, I was looking at that photo. That's a good one.
Yeah, I mean, I'm telling
you. Are we allowed to show pictures that we're looking at? I didn't think we were allowed to do that.
No, we're not. But I was just
look at this. Look at this one. We're gonna do that game.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's like they do the thing, but they make her ugly. I'm telling you. I bet you if you met her in real life trying to look nice, I bet you she's a knockout. And
here we go. No, here's one.
Oh boy.
Someone made her fat.
That's what you were doing, I feel like, when you were sandbagging her earlier.
No, I just said compared to Liv Morgan, because Liv Morgan is pretty hot.
I think that Sarah Logan can hold her own too. Let's get back to Raw.
Wait, please.
Hey, did you notice? I mean, I don't have a problem with this or anything, but did you notice the weird "Be Nice to Gay People" promo?
I'm sure he didn't say it that way. I'm missing what you're saying.
John Cena did a pre-recorded video.
Oh, I fast forwarded that. I thought it was a commercial or a promo for like Total Bellas. So, I fast forwarded through that.
So let me tell you what it was. It was this really weird promo of Cena like walking down the street. And I want to make a comparison to it here in a little bit, but like he's talking about how be patriotic, be American, and it's American to love who you love. Love has no labels. And that was the point of the promo. And it really reminded me of the New Generation time. And like, boy, if anyone remembers this specific promo, I'll be really happy. But there was like a Randy Savage promo that was running after Randy had even left WWE, but it was used for when baseball went on strike in 1994.
I don't know this at all.
And there was a little boy he wanted to play baseball, but he couldn't play baseball because baseball was on strike. So Randy Savage goes up to him on the baseball diamond and he takes him under his arm. He's like, "It's okay, kid." And he's like, you can come over to wrestling. And at the end, the graphic said, "WWF, our season never ends." And it was like from the heart, but it was just so weird to me. Again, I agree with the message. I think love is love and the message is cool, but it's really weird the way they've been delivering the message lately, I feel like. Namely with Finn Balor first at WrestleMania.
If someone comes out of the closet and you can't see them anyways, do they ever really come out of the closet?
Jerry Valera, ladies and gentlemen. That was amazing. What the hell was that?
John Cena's been going to gay bars forever, but they just can't see him. Nobody knows John Cena's gay. They can't see him at the gay bar.
I mean, I get it.
Da, 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 da.
Hey, if anyone out there remembers that promo, make a note because I want to make sure that people at least know what I'm talking about.
I want to see. I wonder if we can find it and post it. I'll post
it
underneath.
I'll try
underneath our video.
I bet you just Google WWF Our Season Never Ends and you might find it.
Maybe.
Anyway, let's keep going here. What else?
That was a great can't see me joke, and sold it.
No, I was laughing. Didn't know what to make of it. It caught me off guard. I didn't know, and I can already tell we've lost you. So I'll just keep telling people what happened on
and
Raw.
I found it, by the way, for you.
Okay, cool. You'll post it after we get this up?
I'll post it. It's 41 seconds long, and there's just I found it for you. Good. You haven't lost me. I just wanted to find that for you.
Okay, thanks. For me, I appreciate that.
For you.
So last night, not only were they weaving stuff week to week with Titus Worldwide and AOP, they were also doing a good job of weaving an angle throughout the entire show. And it was involving Roman Reigns, Seth Rollins, and all that stuff. But it was nice because, I mean, you didn't go really half hour or 45 minutes without seeing something develop in that regard.
Right. I find it interesting how they're weaving Roman into two different programs right now. I mean, he's kind of working against Lashley and then also the Revival, but then also now Dolph Ziggler and Drew McIntyre. I feel like they found a way to finally get Roman to not get booed. They put him in the ring with Seth Rollins on his team.
Well, he was still getting booed. Don't get me wrong, but you might be onto something there. I don't have a problem with the guy as long as he's not fighting for the title or a champion or anything like that. I thought for sure last night they were building to a Dean Ambrose return. And maybe it'll happen next week or at the pay-per-view. I thought for sure that was going to happen last night.
Oh, that's brilliant. Extreme Rules, Dean Ambrose shows up.
Yeah, I mean, maybe they'll need him or something like that. But I thought last night we were going to be in a situation where they needed him, and there he was.
When he left, he was on Raw, right? Yeah, he'll come back. He'll come back to Raw. He won't come back to SmackDown.
I think they want to get the Shield back together. I think that they put it on hold, but they had lightning in a bottle for the second time, and I think that the injury situation, the Jason Jordan thing, kind of derailed things. But I think they want to get back to that, and I think that's a smart place to get back to.
I think so too. And maybe, if they ever need a fourth Kurt Angle in the Shield gear, I still one of my favorite moments of the year.
Yeah, that was great. Also, just to kind of get things going here.
He's just smiling. Like that picture was so good.
I feel like if Tony thought that Ziggler and Rollins was match of the year last week, wait till Extreme Rules. Obviously, it hasn't happened yet, but I think that's going to be their match.
That will be, and I didn't say it was Tony. Moving on.
I'm saying it. I met Tony. I'm willing to believe that's who said it. I feel good about that. It was it was a really good match. Don't get me wrong, but again, not match of the year. I don't think. Sure. We'll keep going. Corbin and Balor. They're two guys I've been really uninterested in lately, but together I thought they did a really good job with that promo.
I like Constable Corbin.
Yeah, I agree. Also, did you notice that I enjoyed that Kevin Owens, when he was hiding, he was in a Baron Corbin hoodie.
Yeah, putting him over a little bit.
I thought that was funny.
That helped. Yeah.
I thought he was trying to score brownie points, is kind of the way I took that.
Oh, that's nice. Yeah, that's probably how they did it. I just know that if we were in the wrestling world, I would wear your gear.
Oh, yeah, I would wear your gear too. We need gear.
I don't. You have 40 shirts. You have gear. You have so much gear.
You have gear? I
do. I do. I've got to take a look at that clearance site.
Is there anything else we should mention from Raw last night? Because we've been going for a minute here.
No way, Jose. Congratulations. You are definitely the front runner right now for Better Luck NXT time, without a doubt.
Who didn't see that coming?
Yeah, who didn't? Ty Dillinger's like, whoo.
Well, Ty Dillinger, I feel like he was last year's front runner.
Yeah,
but now we're at a new year. I mean, there's some. Well, hold on a second. Sanity. I don't know.
What did they do with them last week? Did they do anything with them last week?
Yeah, they So it was going to be Shinsuke Nakamura got bit by a dog, a shoot dog, before the show started.
Not a working dog.
Not a working dog, a shooting dog.
Okay.
So Shinsuke Nakamura got bitten by a police dog. So he was out of the U.S. title match. So Eric Young answered an open challenge from Jeff Hardy. And then Sanity interferes and the Usos come out to help Jeff Hardy. That turns into a 6-man tag and Sanity does the job. Right?
They did the job?
To Hardy and the Usos.
That surprises me.
Yeah, that's I'm telling you. I just hear that Vince is not a Sanity guy.
He's out of his mind. They're good. If you use them right, they're good.
All right, guys. Hey, let us know if you remember that Randy Savage promo. Also,
I have it here. We'll put it on the page today.
Yeah. Well, but even if you do, just tell me if the love. What is it? The Love Has No Labels promo reminds you of that. And also, Sarah Logan, hot or not? Let's just do it. Sarah Logan, hot or not?
Yeah.
Let's just do it.
Let's just do it.
I feel like I liked Raw more than you did last night because you said it was mediocre and I said it was a 2018 good Raw.
Yeah, I think it's mediocre. It had good spots in it. It had my favorite wrestler getting dumped in the Port-O-Potty. You got a
lot of your favorite wrestler last night. And again, threaded. Like, started in the first hour, developed in the second hour, concluded in the third hour. Like, I don't know. That's just the way I like my wrestling to be done.
Good storytelling.
Yeah, that's all I'm saying. Or even when it's not good storytelling, at least it is storytelling. You know what I mean?
That's where we are now. We don't even care if it's a good story. We just want them to tell one.
Yeah. For lack of better words, exactly. For myself, the Rob, my tag team partner in podcasting, the returning Jerry Valeri, thank you for being back. Hey, want to do Thursday this week for SmackDown?
Absolutely. I have all 10 fingers now, and I'll have all 10 fingers on Thursday.
And yes, same thing with Bobby Lashley's sister. All 12 fingers right now. How many will he have after the 4th of July? We'll find out on Thursday here on Post to Post.
12, 12, 12, 12.